What's up with y'all? So, I was sitting up here, I just sat up here and was tripping off something that I just saw at this pilot right here in Missouri, and in Collins, Missouri, right? So at this Flying J, or pilot, which brings me to this. I have did it. I have tried to go ahead and help out another driver. You know, try to help them get themselves up out of whatever situation that they put themselves into. You know, because I got stuck before in California when I was a rookie, right? Trying to spin around, trying to turn around, thinking, okay, this looks real nice and solid, you know. So it looked like I can turn around on it as soon as I got in there, whoop, right? But I also spent 2.5 hours trying to go ahead and get myself out before I had to call the company and let them know, like, hey man, I need a tow truck. Mud was everywhere, you know what I mean? It just kept digging and digging, and I tried to put my boards underneath. It just wouldn't catch. It just seemed like it would just sink lower and lower and things like that. So I get it, right? So here you have some trucker. He got his wife and what looks like 3 or 4 kids with him, right? All of them look like they need to be in freaking elementary school right now. You see what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, that at the end of it all, when I try to help this gentleman out. Now, hold up. I got myself in a couple situations. Let's talk about me first before I talk about someone else. That was the first time. The second time, I was thinking the same thing. This looks solid enough to turn on and back out and go back the other way. Didn't happen. I tried to pull myself out, and eventually, you know, I had to call the company, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, had them pull me out. And really, to tell you the truth, the same shit with the tow truck company did, another driver could have went ahead and did, but none of them was fucking with me. And I get it, cool. So it kind of, in that mindset, it just had me to think, right? And that, the second time I was actually in a flatbed. The first time I was in a box. I was in a regular dry van, right? So what I just witnessed just now, and I'm gonna get back to that. The guy was knee deep, truck and trailer, not just the trailer. I mean, not just the truck. The truck and trailer was knee deep, what appears to look like on a turn on some grass. Oh, look at all those turkeys. On the grass in Collins, Missouri, right? I'm talking about grass is green, look like they should have been feeding all the cows. Like grass, like some real good looking ass grass. That grass is fucked up now, right? So my point is, when I help someone, I was going off of the simple fact is, like, I know how that is. I've been in that situation, not looking for $1, not at all. That was the least of my thoughts, right? My whole thing was just helping them get out of the situations. You know what I mean? Which I have. I was up in, I want to say I was up in South Dakota, maybe. I passed by and it's like a big old steep ditch, right? It's like a nice little ditch. It's a cop car, a sheriff was right there, and there was a truck just off in the middle somewhere. You know what I mean? I passed by, went to do my thing. They was like, nah, you gotta come back in the morning. I'm like, I bet, you know. So on the way back, I ended up stopping. I said, hey, you need some help? Let me, you know what I'm saying? I can pull you up out of there, you know. The cop was like, hey, I can't get involved in that, but I can sit back and make sure that, you know, you can do, you know what I'm saying, no cars will interrupt. I'm like, well, I'm like, cool. So I went to go ask the lady, I said, hey, you need some help? I got some chains, right? So I helped the lady up out of there, you know, unstrapped. I hurry up and freaking took my chains off and got up out of there, you know what I'm saying? So she wouldn't even think about trying to hand me some money, right? I'm like, pew, and I got up out of there. Have a good day, officer, you know what I'm saying? Have a good day, and I was gone, right? Now, the second time, it was a box van, a 26-footer box van, right? And in all honesty, when I passed him up, you know what I'm saying, not even thinking about it, you know what I'm saying, on the way back, I'm like, man, what the hell's going on, you know what I mean, like, how the fuck he do this? He was like, assed in, like, he was bagged in there, and I'm thinking to myself, and in Nevada, by the Loves, it's like a turn, you go like this, so you come in this way, and you turn, and you go this way, right? And there's a ditch right here. It's only a two-way. It's only one. It's a two-lane, but they're divided and they go this way, right? One go this way, one go that. One go this way, one comes this way, right? So I'm thinking to myself, how in the fuck did he do that? Why is he in that? Why? And I should have just left him alone, because I'm like, for you to put yourself in that situation right there, you deserve to be right there. Because all you have to go around this way, right? And as soon as you turn this way, 40 to 50 feet is a turnabout, to whereas it's a little solid little dirt space that you can flip a bitch and go back the opposite way, right? Here, this guy was not doing that, right? So, and the whole gist of everything, of him not doing that, this guy went ahead and was basically figured that he would go ahead and maybe try to bag in to where he was bagged in a ditch. Now, I was like, you know what, let me try to help the man. I'm like, hey man, you want me to help pull you up out? Yeah. I started, you know, I help pull the man out, you know what I mean? Try to pull the man out. I'm like, hey dude, when you get in there, you gotta turn with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be, cause we at an angle. He's like this, I pulled past him, but I had to back up to whereas I'm close enough to him so I can attach to him and pull. Now, when I'm pulling, his tire's gonna pull this way, right? So I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work, you know, I'm gonna fuck around and rip your goddamn freaking your tire off. And plus, he wasn't even turning, he was just like this. I think we learn from our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes, and this is the reason why we learn from our mistakes, right? Because I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, dude, you ain't even trying to, like, I'm like, bro, you got to go ahead and do such and such, man. You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. You know, he didn't want to do that shit. So I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to be able to help you, dude. And plus, ain't nobody else going to try to help you. So you got to get in there, hit that brake real quick. I'm going to bag up. So you know what I'm saying, make sure that it's set so it won't tip over or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, his shit kind of like, his shit just went this way, and caught in some more dirt, whereas he was at an angle. He's already at an angle because he like this. Instead of being like this, he like this, assed in. Now he like this at an angle, right? So I'm like, bro, you not. Yeah, I'm like, bro, you gonna need a tow truck. I mean, you gonna need a tow truck that's gonna go ahead and get underneath you, get in underneath them tires and pull your ass directly out. You know, this motherfucker, he didn't even want to help himself. He would try to get me to wait there so he could try to find somebody else that could pull him another direction. I'm like, bro, that's not gonna work. Right now, we in a worse situation than what you was in. Ever since then, I told myself, man, the way he was, with the kind of people that we are living with in this world, some people just don't deserve help. Some people don't deserve help, and you know what? At the end of it all, that shit could have came back on me 10 times as worse. So that's why I don't help people out, and I keep telling Jesus, I'm not finna help that lady on the side of the road. I'm not finna help that couple out. I'm not even finna, like, wait a minute. Why is old boy just standing there looking at the car on a flat? Why he's not going ahead and getting the spare tire? I'm like, I'm not even finna help that motherfucker out, because if he doesn't know how to change a flat tire, I'm not gonna help him neither. That's how I look at it. Shit, if you don't know how to change a flat tire, I ain't finna help him. Why? That's a grown ass man. Probably, he's in a better car than I got, and I got a pretty decent car, but he don't know how to change the tire. I'm like, oh man, fuck that. I ain't doing none of that. So that's why I do not help people. I refuse to help people who doesn't help themselves. Now, even if you try to help yourself, okay, cool, maybe you need a little more help. Love's cup, I got you, bro. It's all about love, baby. It's all about the love. You see what I'm saying? I got you. But if you ain't trying to help yourself, bro, pilot, pew, I'm gone. Out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I just figure I'll go ahead and just drop this little public service announcement, because it's a lot of motherfuckers out here, you know what I'm saying, that think that damn, I done passed this motherfucker up again. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here I don't even think we could. Oh yeah, we could. I could have went that way. Anyway, I wasn't gonna do it. It's a lot of motherfuckers out here that just, I gotta go over here anyway, man. They talking about 3 o'clock. I don't even know how far they're here. It's a lot of motherfuckers out here that just be on that bullshit. That just ain't worth helping. At the end of it all, they just ain't worth helping, man. Some people just gotta, you know what I'm saying? They gotta feel that tax. They gotta feel what that tax is. They gotta feel what that bill's gonna be like. You see what I'm saying? And that's, you know what? That's what I'm realizing. I'm realizing is that when you help someone try to undo their stupidity, you helping them out from thinking that it's cool to make that mistake again. Because if they don't feel it, if they don't feel that tax, if they don't feel that bill, if they don't look at that bill like, woo, shit, god dang it, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel that bill like, damn, shit, that shit cost me this. Now I gotta, now I gotta sacrifice something else, you know what I'm saying, just to pay that bill, just to cover that bill. They'll fuck around and do that shit again. They'll fuck around and do it again. Because you helped them. So they don't see that bill. If they end up giving you $50, they be like, oh yeah, I gave them $50. And that's just to make them feel good for the little time that you don't put into it. And it probably done took you 2.5 hours to help them motherfuckers out. They just gave you $50. But a tow bill for a truck, bud? First of all, let me tell you something. It's $180 for them bitches just to come out when you're dealing with trucks. big trucks, 18-wheelers, you know what I'm saying? We ain't telling nobody, but it's just the 18-wheeler, you know what I'm saying? So when you talk about a big truck that's over 80,000 pounds, whether if it's loaded or unloaded at 30,000 pounds, it's gonna cost you $185 just to come out. I damn near bit my tongue saying it. It's gonna cost you $180 just for them to come out. Not including the service. Not including the service. That service can run around, can fuck around and cost another $250. You do the math. Since y'all like doing the math to people's shit, you do the math to that, baby. That's what you need to do. You do the math to that. 180 plus 250. What is that? Yeah. That's what it's gonna cost. That's the tax that they gonna have to pay for their stupidity. You see what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna wanna pay that. And I'm like, God dang it, you know, companies don't even wanna pay that shit. Hell, shit, I had a motherfucker when I was getting pulled out, when I was with AFC, when I turned in that little spot, and I fucking got stuck in the ditch, and I told dude the bill was $400. I said, yeah, it's about $430. This motherfucker thought I said $4,200. He was like, oh shit, I ain't finna pay that. I'm like, you ain't finna pay 400 and fucking what? He said, oh, 400. I said, yeah. I said, what the fuck you thought I said? He said, oh, man, I thought you said 4,200. I'm like, man, look, if this I say, look, check this out. If that motherfucker was $4,200, man, shit. Man, look. I get myself about that motherfucker. Fuck that load. I ain't finna pay that shit. Cause I told him, I said, hey, check this out. I said, you, man, look. Take $100 up out my check till we clear that up. Cause I fucked up. And I was gonna accept that. I was gonna accept that 420, you know what I'm saying, to come up out my pocket with no problem. Like shit. Just take that shit up out my my little settlements. I was gonna hit that. I was gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? It's my fuck up. Yeah, I take that. No problem. But for that other shit? Nah, buddy. Anyway, JDinsky361 around here, you know what I'm saying? Just figure I'll go ahead and give you guys a little public service announcement. You know what I'm saying?